Hello, all, and welcome to our session, Keeping Individual Sex Workers Safe, aka KISS. My name is Moj Ganzare. I am the Executive Director at Atlanta Harm Reduction Coalition, and I am here with my colleague, Ms. Mona Bennett, who is serve as the ambassador at Atlanta Harm Reduction Coalition. And we are going to talk to you about our program, KISS. Just to give you guys a little bit history of who we are, we've been established since 1994. We're located in Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. And our mission is to promote health and dignity by reducing the impact of HIV/AIDS, hepatitis C, sexually transmitted infections, and substance use within vulnerable communities. We are grassroots. We are a community-based wellness and health organization, and we have about 14 programs within our organization. We envision a world where all people are accepted, valued, and have access to healthcare and support that leads to a fulfilling life. So I would like to start by talking or giving some information about what this program KISS is about. So Keeping Individual Sex Workers Safe, aka KISS, it uses a science and evidence-based approach to effectively address the health disparities of individual sex workers who are at risk for violence, arrest, and HIV/AIDS, STIs, and other complications. So the program was first implemented in 2015, and a lot went into creating the program. Just to give you guys a little bit history about Atlanta, about where we are located, and how KISS came into becoming a program. So Atlanta is one of the cities I guess Atlanta and Seattle are the two cities in the United States that are actually have a large income when it comes to sex work. And so there's a lot of sex work happening in this city. And so a study estimated Atlanta's market was $290 million by 2007. And unfortunately, there are not that many studies available. But in compared to like Washington, D.C., where the income went down, Atlanta and Seattle were the two cities where income actually went up. So there's a lot of sex work happening in this city. And of course, there's different types of sex works. There's sex works that are trade for goods and services, sex works where people actually receive money for it. And then even then it's divided into so many different kinds, escorts, dancers, group kind of like sex, versus individual sex workers. I mean, it's just a very large variety of different type of sex work. And that's also a part of what needs to be understood when it comes to this industry and this program is specific. So we knew that there was need for this program. There are not that many service providers and organizations in this city that provides care to the sex worker community. And we had come in contact with sex workers within the neighborhoods that we are. So the picture in the right-hand corner, that's English Avenue and Vine City. This is the old kind of like the previous neighborhood that we were in. And now we're about a mile away from that neighborhood. So we're still very close. These neighborhoods are called Bluff. There's a lot of substance use happening within these, as well as substance dealer within these neighborhoods. And we had clients who were coming to our agency who were engaged in sex works, and they were asking for services, and they were providing us some information. And at one point, few years, maybe 3 or 4 years before 2015, like beginning of 2010s, there was a study done within Atlanta Harm Reduction Coalition where we interviewed through focus groups and surveys, we interviewed sex workers and kind of tried to figure out what their needs are, why are they engaged in sex work, and how can we assist and help them. So in 2014, I attended a conference in Baltimore, Maryland, which was the Harm Reduction Conference that is hosted by the National Harm Reduction Coalition. And there I met a group or another organization that serves the DC area. They are called Helping Individual Prostitutes Survives, or in short, HIPS, and that's there in the bottom, that's their logo. And so as the name goes, they also serve sex workers in the DC area. And although traditionally that was the population that they were serving, now it has expanded to also include substance users, people who inject drugs, and many more. So within their program, they had a really interesting program, and we kind of used that program as a model to implement K.I.S.S within our organization. And so basically they were doing a lot of outreach work. And so as we kind of learn more about the needs, as we kind of, try to develop the program around how it would best fit the need of the community and the sex workers, we also realized that, and then also as we collected more data from them, we also realized that given the hours of work that they have, it makes it very difficult for our sex worker clients to actually come to us, because typically they work during night, they have to rest during the day, our office hours are during the day, we're home sleeping at night sometimes. So that just made it a little bit difficult. And so we also knew that a stigma was another reason behind why people may not want to come to our organization and receive our services. And there were many, many other barriers that we will get to in just a few minutes. And so we decided that, given the information we learned from HIPS, given also the information that we learned through our data, surveys and stuff, that we make the program an outreach program, which I will get to in just a few minutes. So we started in 2015, we started conducting an assessment. So we used the data that was collected in early 2010s. We also went out into the community via outreach, which interesting enough, Miss Mona and I have the habit of doing this. And this is also kind of something that we've learned that works well in the community, that instead of just sitting at the office and try to come up with stuff, why don't we go out and engage in a conversation with people we want to provide services to. So we went out few nights together as a crew. It was Miss Mona, myself, and a few other staff members. And we tried to hit different parts of the town that we had heard about and engage in conversations with our sex worker community. We also completed some small surveys that was actually created by one of our board members. And it was very small. It only had 5 or 6 questions. We would actually fill out the responses. It did not require any demographic or any names or anything like that. So the community felt very safe responding to those questions. And then we brought those back and we kind of sat down and tried to figure out what are the services that we can provide that are feasible for us, and that it's also needed by the sex worker community that we can provide to the community. And so one of the things, of course, right off that I think majority of organizations find out is that we need cultural competency training, and we also need to identify partners who actually do work in this kind of service. And so we did ask for a cultural competency training, and we had an individual who actually works within this arena come into our organization and provided us a cultural competency training. And since then, of course, we've received many more, because you can never get enough cultural competency trainings. So it just has to be a continuous kind of thing as you have new staff, as we grow and get come in contact with more and more community members. And also there is this thing where we forget. So we just need to learn more and more every single day. And that's why it's so important to receive continuous cultural competency and cultural humility trainings. The second thing is we also started getting in touch with national and regional partners who were providing services to the sex worker community. Now, majority of these partners were not partners that were doing grassroots, underground service work. A lot of it was around advocacy, but yet we still learned a lot from these partnerships, and we also basically found allies in kind of connecting our work to this mission that we had for the sex worker community. And also, I think it's also important to note that unfortunately, the sex worker community is a community that's very much forgotten. There's a lot of stigma. People don't want to talk about it. You don't see it in a lot of organizations as their service or as their target population. And especially when it comes to government and, services that the government provides. For example, when it comes to the HIV work and HIV prevention, majority of target populations, including LGBTQs, people who inject drugs and people who use drugs, high-risk populations, high risk with the racial populations, they're all mentioned, but rarely ever do we hear about the sex worker community. So again, decided that we wanted to do outreach because that was the best way to reach out to the community. So in 2016, the program now became fully implemented. And the first thing we learned was that we cannot go with just a regular car to these outreach areas because of the stigma and because of policing and undercover police, and also a lot of hatred towards sex worker that they had identified and reported to us. We wanted to make sure that we can connect with them and that they felt very safe connecting with us. So we purchased a vehicle specifically to help us with this program, as well as a couple other programs at AHART. And so we decided we will do outreach twice a month. So we do outreaches every other Friday. So the outreach days, the outreach hours, and the locations of outreaches were all identified when we did our assessments right here in 2015 through these surveys and focus groups, and also looking at the original assessment that was done. So now, it is wrapped. On one end, it talks about HIV. On the other end, it talks about overdose prevention. So it's very low key. It talks about AHARC, so they can also get kind of like a connection to AHARC. It has our contact information just in case they want to take a quick photo of the car. It talks specifically about PrEP, which is one pill a day that protects you against HIV, on the wrapping of the car, which, we very much encourage many of our target population, including our sex worker community, to engage in if this is something that they would like to get and make it basically accessible to them. And then also on the other side, it talks about Narcan, which again, it prevents overdose, and that's something that we also like to distribute to the sex worker community who may be engaging in substance use or may know other people, co-workers or such, that engage in substance use as well, and help in bringing someone back to life. So our team is composed of women only, and we do this because majority of the people, of the sex worker clients that we come in contact with are women, and we wanted, again, that trust development with them, and we wanted to make sure they felt comfortable. So we go in a group of 2, and again, that is for security also of our staff. To make sure that they're not going alone or one person only. It can be more than 2, but we try not to make it more than 3 either, because again, we don't want our clients to feel like so many people are there and they're bombarded with so many people all at once. So the number is a good number we've identified is somewhere between 2 to 3 staff. Okay. So here I would like to talk a little bit about the intervention that we use. And then I just want you to know that as I wrap up this conversation in a few minutes and turn it over to Ms. Mona, she will get into more detail about meaningful engagement. So what is the goal of K.I.S.S? The goal of K.I.S.S is to connect with our sex worker community so that they know there's an organization, there's a service provider, and they're members of community who care about them, who care about their lives and their well-beings, and that we're here to serve them in any capacity that we're able to. So The meaningful engagement is just basically, hello, how are you? My name is Mushkan. I work with Atlanta Harm Reduction Coalition. I am here to provide, to provide you some supplies and few things that I have. How are you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? And leave it as that. The client can take as long or as little as they want to have a conversation with me. It's their time, it's their effort. It's their time, and it's my effort to meet them where they are. So we do use the harm reduction approach again of meeting people where they are, basically that kind of like meeting people where they are and connecting with them on the level that they are. We also distribute supplies to the community. So the first thing is the hygiene kit. That is also another thing that we identified through the assessment. What is most important when it comes to the sex worker community? What supplies? And hygiene kit is number one. So within our hygiene packets, we have a toothbrush and a small toothpaste sometimes, but mainly a toothbrush. We also have tampons available. Sometimes we have panties, clean panties available. We also have soap, shampoo, conditioner, a comb. These things are very much needed for both their profession and also to cleanse themselves and keep themselves clean and prevent from bacterial infections. We also have condoms available in them to protect them against having an unwanted pregnancy or acquiring HIV, hepatitis C, sexually transmitted infections. We know that they're working hard at a late hour of the night, so we typically have some sort of drink. In the winter times, we have coffee, and in the summer times, we try to have water or juice. And then we also have some sort of snack available for them. It may be just something as small as either like a Cheez-It or something, or it may be a sandwich. It just depends on also what we have available that week from our food pantry inside our organization. And so we prepare these beforehand and we take them out to outreach. So like I mentioned, we go out to outreach on Fridays between 9 p.m. to 1 in the morning. We also have pregnancy tests available upon request. That's another item that we also have available, and we let our clients know. There are also promise stories inside the hygiene kits, and basically it's an evidence-based intervention approved by Centers for Disease Control Prevention that allows basically educate the individual on PrEP, on condom usage, on adherence to medication and things like that. So here are the different services that we provide. Referral. This is one of the biggest things. Again, our goal when it comes to this specific program is to help our sex worker community with anything they may need and anything we're able. We know we're not able to help them with every single thing, but whatever we're able to help them with. And so referrals are for whether if they need legal aid, we can connect them with somewhere. If they need like food or housing, we can connect them with that. So those are the different type of referrals that they may need. Sometimes we do go out. Again, the goal of the K.I.S.S is not to do test folks for HIV or Hep C, but our crew does take a HIV test sometime with them, and if that's something they would like to get to know their status about HIV or hepatitis C, we can also conduct the HIV or hepatitis C. We'll let them again know about PrEP if this is something they need a referral to and things of that nature. So these are some of the statistics and data for our 2019 K.I.S.S program. So we conducted 22 outreaches within 1 year. We distributed 582 hygiene kits. We distributed 6,160 condoms and 330 snacks. It was a very successful year. On an average, we came across about 15 to 20 sex workers per night. So at this point, what I would like to do is go ahead and turn it over to Miss Mona, who is our ambassador. She also is the staff member who runs the program, and who basically participates in the program every other Friday night.
Well, hello, how y'all doing? I'm Mona Bennett, ambassador at the Atlanta Harm Reduction Coalition. And yes, my colleague Netlin Lindsay and I go out, at least before COVID, every other Friday to work the strolls in other places where sex workers gather for the K.I.S.S program. Um, First, we have to get ready. We come to the office, we gather our supplies. A very important supply, menstrual hygiene products. We do have tampons. Just the hygiene kit that I happened to grab just happened to have a menstrual pad in it. Very important. Um, and speaking of cultural competency, uh, I don't know if you remember those little dinky combs that you used to get in school at school picture day. Some of us have more robust hair, so we need more robust hair care products. Um, oh yes, and then what is it? Lip balm. Yes. We got to have pretty healthy lips wherever you are, whatever you do. We also do have snacks. I just happened to grab a couple of things that we had around our office. Peanuts, Cheez-Its, the sandwiches that Netlin prepares and distributes are very popular. And as always, water. We got to keep hydrated. And we always offer the people that we encounter a hygiene kit, water, food. Our hygiene kits also have condoms. Oops, somebody's upside down, I think. Because this is just a vital tool of the trade and basic sex worker harm reduction. So we make sure we offer plenty of condoms, plenty of water-based, silicone-based lube, whatever we can get our hands on. Okay, we've gathered our supplies. During the week or during our off times, we're listening. We're listening. We're listening to what's going on the streets, and we get our information from our our main outreach site at the Bluff, because we do have people who sell sex come to that site. So we'll have a little chat with the ladies and gentlemen there, and everybody in between there. Um, so we find out, hey, where is everybody? Where are the girls at? Sometimes that's the only question we need to ask. Where's the police? What's 12 up to? Because this makes our outreach very fluid, because, for example, one popular spot, if you know Atlanta, Fulton Industrial Boulevard is a very popular spot with sex workers. There are sex clubs there. There are strip clubs there. There are economy hotels there. But when the police make their presence known, as they are wont to do, it's like a ghost town. So we try to figure out, okay, where's the police activity? Because we know that's where there will not be sex worker activity. So we plan a little route. Usually, and again, this depends on police activity, we might start off close to our office. I don't know if Joseph E. Boone Boulevard or Simpson Street means anything to any of y'all, but that's where our office is. So we'll start around there and we'll go to the Bluff. That is the official name for the English Avenue community. It's being regentrified, but there every now and then we see some activity there. Again, that depends upon the police activity. Then we'll go off to Fulton Industrial Boulevard. From there, we may go to University Avenue, Metropolitan Avenue, Cleveland Avenue. We may take a swing down, or I guess up to, uh, ah, I'm going to think of it, um, Edgewood Avenue. That's an emerging, well, it's not emerging, it is a hot spot. Um, and when we're out, we hand out our well, we offer our hygiene kits, food, water, coffee, juice, whatever beverage we have. N- this changes. This is a game changer. Just offer water as cold as you can get it. Um, that's where the engagement starts, and it's usually rather quick. Um, and also, as we're leaving, hey, where are the other girls at? Where are the people at? And they'll tell us, hey, they're on a certain street, they're behind a certain club. And we thank the people for their information and keep it moving. The initial engagements are very quick because, well, we don't want to stop anybody from making money. And we have to be very mindful that we don't interrupt sex workers when they're trying to make their money. We make sure that we're not interrupting their business. We are mindful of any pimps, managers, protectors. Um, hey, they get hungry too, they get thirsty too. So we offer the whole entourage our services. Um, let's see, what else am I forgetting? And also, that's a part of the rapport building. We get to know everybody. Everybody likes a sandwich. Um, Dr. Zari described a lot of the services that we give. Um, Sometimes it's just being around to witness or bear witness um, or be there for somebody emotionally because as we know, uh, it's a rough life. Sometimes people need to vent a little bit. Okay, let's vent a little bit. Let's see. We have had some call as far as services. Um, I always carry Narcan. Always, always, always. We have had some call for syringes. Uh, um, Not very much, and also I kind of feel set up with just Netlin and I and syringes. But we do make that referral to our syringe services sites in the Bluff, English Avenue community, and in Little Five Points. Um, oh, what else am I forgetting? Um, You know what? I think that's it for the service. But with enough of those, people start looking forward to our marked car. People start looking forward to us. For one, can't get enough condoms. Also, just trying to keep our faces out there. Another very informal service we perform is a verbal bad date sheet. Um, a lot of people write down their bad date sheets, and if you don't know what a bad date sheet is, that's where we ask ask the sex workers, okay, uh, who's been not paying? Who's been trying to get services without paying? Who's been physically or emotionally or verbally abusive to you as far as a customer is concerned? Um, what else is going on? How else have people been trying to get over on you? And they'll tell us, and we'll get a description of the person, the vehicle, and we'll pass that on. We haven't gotten many of them. That's why it's right now it's verbal. But we make sure that we tell people to look out for that white truck with the red interior. The man inside pulls knives on sex workers. So we make sure we pass that along and make sure the word gets out about that. That's a very appreciated service. and we will be upgrading it over time, actually writing it down, putting it on paper. Um, we're just trying to make life easier for people who aren't, who are on the margins, literally, or stigmatized, literally. Um, and one day I hope that, well, we do our best to help people come up in whatever form. Of course, we always ask people, what else do you need? We do get calls for pregnancy tests, Plan B, the birth control method, um, some testing, uh, and that's HIV, syphilis, hepatitis C, chlamydia, gonorrhea. Um, so because people want to stay healthy, hey, nothing wrong with that. We should be as healthy as possible. Let's see. I believe that is it. Am I missing anything, Dr. Zari?
No, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Miss Mona. Before we close down our session, I would also like to go to about like 3 other items with you guys when it comes to the K.I.S.S program. So the first thing is to realize or to learn that there are so many different type of the community is very diverse. You know, it includes people who are substance users, includes people who are from the LGBTQ community, African American, you know, woman, or different races. And so because of that cultural competency piece then becomes very important, that we get very diversified, you know, kind of cultural competency training. The other piece too is that we kind of spoke about condoms, and there's so many different types of sex and sex work that happens, oral sex and, you know, vaginal sex. And so it's very important to be able to distribute different type of condoms, you know, the oral sex ones, the female condoms, you know, which no longer, thank God, need prescription anymore, and the male condoms. So and then like maybe different type of like things, because condoms are very expensive. So if we can offer a variety, the sex worker community, it will make their lives so much easier to protect themselves and their clients against any infectious disease. And then finally, if you guys have any question, if this is something you also identify in your community, this is a service that you want to add to the list of, you know, gazillion services that we all offer within the harm reduction approach. I would encourage you guys to also, just like we did, reach out to K.I.S.S. They do have a very robust program and an amazing program. Feel free to reach out to us. Ours is a more of a mini version of what K.I.S.S obviously has, because ours is only an outreach program, but we will be more than happy to provide more information to you. Thank you so much for your time today. And we look forward to listening to the Q&A, which we will receive at the end of the session. Thank you.